Uber's a fun company to follow. It's been great to see them over the last 20 years really start with this new concept of, taking a ride or a taxi, but they have really been disruptive. Disruptive, obviously, to the taxi industry, disruptive to the rental car industry, and now they're really biting into market share around other transportation options. For example, a lot of young people, they don't want to buy a car. They think that Uber is so reliable, flexible, and affordable, they can do without a car, without the insurance, without all the maintenance on a car. And they're probably right. They're probably saving quite a bit. So Uber is just a really fun company to follow. I've been an investor in Uber stock and I did some analysis. I updated it and I wanted to share that with you and share with you my plans to either hold my shares, buy more shares, or sell my shares. If you can do me a favor and like my video and subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that. Now, let me tell you more about Uber. So it's great to see Uber has such a big platform now. It has so many people actively using the platform each and every month. I use their platform when I travel and regularly get food delivered to our home. It's a really nice service, and so do many, many other people. It's good to see that number grow over time. They're up to 137 million active platform consumers, which is great. And each year it seems to be going up and up. That type of scale is going to become very profitable for the company. And I think, Uber is the market share leader. It's the biggest brand that we think about. Those are just huge, huge pluses for Uber. I believe that Uber has upside in their stock of 42%. That's a pretty good number on a high growth company. And having the stock, I know that they've gone up quite a bit in the last 12 months. I think that the stock's really worth around $67 per share, but the market will sell you shares for about $47 per share. And I come up to this potential upside on the stock by looking at free cash flows that I expect from the company, growing those cash flows over the next 2 to 4 years, and also looking at all future cash flows in the future that I expect out of Uber. When I look at all those free cash flows, discount them by 9%, I get to a current net present value of $167 billion of value that I see in cash flows for Uber. I add the cash and take away debt to get to an equity value of 163 billion. It's well above where the market is currently pricing the whole company, to the amount of 71% upside on the stock if you compare the current share price to where I think, based on free cash flows, the stock price is worth. Earnings per share also is a factor. They are early in their profitability years. I think profit's going to keep getting better and better, especially with the type of scale they have. But looking at their current year earnings per share of $1.02 and having a very high PE, since they are a high growth company, having a pretty good growth rate of 5%, we get to a stock price of $39 per share, which is below the current stock price of $47. So that's actually a downside factor on the stock of 17%. I combine these two, but I put more weight in the free cash flow method because I believe that is truly the value of any business, is how much cash is it going to generate and return to those investors that own the company. It's a 2/3 free cash flow and 1/3 earnings per share in this blended number of 42% upside on Uber. The balance sheet is one area that I am looking at closely. It's above my 3x EBITDA factor. It's actually close to 4. Over the last 5 years, Uber has had big price differences. In the early 2021 timeframe, the stock was trading at like $60 per share. Along with a lot of other stocks, it dropped and then it rose more recently. So it offered investors just a great time to buy Uber and buy shares as low as, low 20s per share, and really start accumulating stock and really being rewarded. I bought a lot of shares in this zone, which I'm glad I did so, and I'm holding shares currently. It still has a nice, cushion of upward, room in value. I value the company at $67 per share. and they're trading at 47. Now, I would say that I am a little gun shy that we just had this really nice run up. Excellent. So I'm not as eager of buying shares compared to these numbers here. I knew this company was really valuable because the same company, and I actually think the company that I bought in this zone is better than the company that was being traded in this zone. They had more number of platform users, higher revenue, profit, and free cash flows were growing. So I just saw an obvious pickup of value, and I'm glad I bought it. Year to date, the company is up 85%, and it's up 121% since July of 2022. I have a process I've created for myself over the years, and it's a process to really look at a company and evaluate it under the same consistent process for all stocks that I buy. And the process involves really putting myself in the shoes of an owner and saying, do I want to be an owner in Uber and own a little fraction of the company? Do I want to be in the industry? In this case, I definitely want to be an owner at Uber. Do I believe their management team is doing a really good job? Absolutely. Uber management gets an A grade from me. That's a problem with Uber. It's above 3 times EBITDA, so I can't give them a check mark there. They offer a really nice discount, so nice check mark there. And right now, I'm going to hold. They didn't get a perfect scorecard, and I think that debt to EBITDA could be just a temporary problem. If they can lower their debt and grow their EBITDA, I think they can get to that ratio that I'm looking for. I also see that the stock price has really gone up. It's really gone up over the last 12 months. So, hey, I'm going to hold. I've got a big gain on the stock, and I'm going to see maybe a quarter or two before I decide whether I want to buy more shares, continue to hold, or sell my shares. Thank you for watching my video on Uber. I hope you found it interesting. I'd love to hear comments from you on what you think of Uber and where you think the stock's going to end up. Do me a favor and like my video, and also subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching. Good luck investing in 2023.